Flosstube friends, welcome to my channel. My name is Chris. Today is Wednesday, May 1st, and I'm here to share my April stitching with you. It's been a pretty quiet month for me. I don't have a whole lot of extra stuff to share, so it really is just about the stitching today. So maybe quick, may not. We'll just see how things roll. So let's jump right in. So the first thing I'm going to share with you is my focus project, which is my oldest WIP, although it has had a restart last fall, but it is called Walk with Dog. It is a pattern based on the artwork of Leonid Afremov, and it's charted by Artisy. So here's a picture of what it will look like when it's done. And here's a picture of where it would have been last month when you saw it. I haven't got a whole lot more done this month. I have a little bit of progress, but not a ton. So I believe I had gotten to the end of the row I was working on, and now I've dropped down to the next one and I'm coming across. So I was working, well, in this area, because these are actually my working threads right here that I'm working on. So I've just done a little bit, I believe, in this area, but I'll have the other photo up so you can kind of compare and see. So yeah, not a ton of progress, but still some, and that's sort of the idea. Is I just want to keep plugging away at this, and for me it's a bit of a challenging piece just because there are so many colors and so many park threads, and I'm doing it 1/1 on 25 count, which I like the size it's going to be. I'll be honest, I had been thinking, you know, do I want to keep going 1/1 on the 25, or do I want to consider going back to 18 count, 2/1, kind of like my happy place. You know, I like my loop start. But then I started thinking about how much bigger it's going to be, which again just makes it more expensive to frame and takes up more wall space. So I do like this size. I do love the tiny little stitches, but I find I can only stitch on it for so long. So yeah, you know, every stitch is one more stitch closer to being finished. So I'm just going to keep working away at it, and we'll see how we go. But so that's what I got done this month. So then we will move on to my weekly WIPs. So anybody that's new, welcome. This year I've decided to spend a week on every one of my WIPs. So I made a list of them in chronological order, and I'm just, each month, every week is dedicated to one WIP, and I'm just working my way through that list. When I get to the bottom, I'll go back and start at the top again. So this month, the weekly WIPs that I worked on, the first week I worked on this pattern called Daisies, and I'll put a picture up of what it will look like when it's done. And I apologize, I haven't been bringing my notes or my little cards, project cards that have all the details, but I believe it should show up who the designer is. It's from Etsy, where I purchased this pattern, and if not, I'll put it down here at the bottom who the designer is. But the name of the chart is Daisies, which I really liked it because it was, you know, bright and cheery. And I'll put a picture of where it was the last time you saw it. And so here it is now. So when I started this, I started it going all the way across the top. Just a minute. Okay, I'm back. So yeah, so when I first started stitching this, I decided to go all the way across the top, but that was getting a little unwieldy, so I kind of went back and decided to try diagonally stitching. So what I'm doing now is color completing within the diagonal, and that's been working out really well. It's kind of fun. So yeah, made some pretty good progress on that. This is actually the first daisy down here that I just touched the edge of on that diagonal. So I'm looking forward to getting into more of the daisies. The blues are pretty, but you know, you get a little bit tired anytime you're stitching with one color all the time. So yeah, so that's daisies. The next weekly whip that I worked on was Eye on the Sparrow by Silver Creek Samplers. That's what it will look like when it is finished. I will put a picture here of where it was the last time you would have seen it. And here is where it is now. So yeah, made some good progress on that. Got that whole band where the word worry is, filled in all the letters, got more of the verse stitched, started on some of the branches and berries, so I'm going to leave the cute little bird to the last. So I know I'm doing a terrible job of telling you what fabric and what floss, so my first project, my walk with dog, was on a 25 count Lugana. It's sort of just a brown color, which I thought the dark color might be great for so if it was on white and the fabric was showing through, I thought that would be more distracting. And on the darker fabric, because there's so many dark colors, I thought then the fabric wouldn't show through quite as obviously. That's the other drawback that's making it a little bit challenging to stitch on, because when I'm stitching darker colors, or there's quite a few browns actually in it, sometimes I can't tell if a square is an unstitched square or if it's a brown square, but thank goodness for magnification. So yeah, that's a 25 count Lugana with all the called for DMC. Daisies is stitched on an 18 count white Aida with all the called for DMC. This is a 32 count Picture This Plus Legacy linen with the called for DMC. And then my last weekly whip was Fox and Friend by Teresa Kogut. This is a gift from a friend of mine. So this I'm stitching on the called for 32 count Lakeside linen pair with the called for DMC, and there are some fancy flosses, some Classic Colorworks, Weeks Dye Works, which were also gifted with the pattern and the fabric and the flosses. So here's a picture of where it was the last time that you would have seen it. I started this in 2022 at the First Stitch North retreat, and got a pretty good start on it, and then hadn't stitched on it since. I didn't touch it at all last year, so I was really excited to get to work on it this year. And here is where I am now. So yeah, I've gone all the way around with the outside frame and finished filling in those top corners. There's still a little bit more of the frame to stitch, but then I took a break from the brown and I filled in that little top background landscape type thing. And you know, that's not a very large, or it doesn't seem like a very large area, but like there's a lot of different greens in there, so a lot of confetti stitching. So it actually took me a lot longer than I thought. I thought, oh, I'll just pop down here and fill this in and then carry on with the frame. But so yeah, but it's a really great effect. So yeah, so that was fun. Looking forward to pulling that out again in the future. So yeah, so those were all of my weekly whips and my focus project. So now on to my new start that I did in the month of April. So again, if you're new, this year I'm having a big birthday this year, so I decided in honor of that, to celebrate, I'm going to do a new start every month, plus one extra new start during my birthday month. And part of that was I have a lot of really nice things, or things that I love, in my stash, and I'm not getting younger, and I just wanted to get them out and get them started and have the enjoyment of stitching on them. So I've picked a bunch that I really love and want to stitch, and you guys, my viewers, are helping me to pick which one I'm going to start each month. And it's been really fun doing that. And I appreciate everybody that's been voting and playing along with me, because it's made it really fun, and it's a lot nicer to have other people help you make a decision, because I'm terrible at making decisions. So so let me show you the candidates for that were the candidates for the month of April. So there were 31 people that voted. So again, thank you very much if you voted. And the first option, this has come up a couple of times, was Random Thoughts by the Drawn Thread. And like, I have this all kitted up. I have the called for fabric. It came with the silks and the charms that go with it. So it's all ready to go. So that was Random Thoughts, and it had 8 votes. The next one was this Dimensions kit. And I should mention again, if you're new, I just have these all on a decision wheel. And so every month I just spin the wheel and pick 3 and then throw those out to you guys, and you help me pick which one of the 3. So yeah, some, if they don't get picked, they stay on the wheel. So they might come up again later on. So ones that don't get picked will eventually get stitched at some point. So the second one was this Dimensions Gold Collection Summer's End. And this one got 10 votes. And then the third one, this one has come up a few times, is another Dimensions Gold Collection, Mare and Foal. And this one got 13 votes. So this was the winner. So again, thank you everybody for helping me choose. So yeah, I got some pretty good progress on this. So there's my stitches. So I'm starting in the top left corner. So I'm almost across to that tree branch that's coming across here. So not quite halfway across, but getting close. Yeah, like, it's funny, I feel like I put a lot of stitches in, but sometimes when I look at it, it doesn't feel like that much. But I guess when I look at it in comparison to the finished piece, it's a pretty good bunch of stitches there. A lot of them are half stitches too, so it goes fairly quickly. So yeah, I finally, this has been on my wish list for a really long time, and I was so excited when it came up on our Canadian D-Stash site, and I was able to purchase it from somebody that was willing to let it go. So, and for really, her prices were really reasonable. I know you can sometimes find it on eBay for, you know, $100 and some type of thing. So, yeah, so I'm excited to finally be started one of my unicorns. So that was fun. So yeah, as far as my stitching this month, that's everything I've stitched on. Usually my next segment I do is Happy Mail, but I actually have been really good and I haven't purchased anything so far. I actually do have some fabric coming, but it hasn't even shipped yet. So maybe it'll be here next month, we'll see. But yeah, other than that, I don't have anything else that I've purchased. So my plans for the month of May, I'm going to continue working on my focus project, my walk with dog, on the weekends, on Saturdays and Sundays, and doing weekly whips, working through my whip list. So the weekly whips I'm going to be working on this month. So this week, actually, I'm working on this Dimensions Petite called Quiet Night, based on the artwork of Fred Swan. I have a few Dimensions kits featuring his artwork. I really like his art style. So I'm working on this one. I've actually worked on it a little bit. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to put in a picture of where I started it this week, just so you have an idea. And then next month, if you come back, you can see the progress that I've made on it. So this is where, you know, I'll be starting, or where I started this week. The next weekly whip is going to be cardinals, which will look like this when it's done. It's a pattern charted by Artisy. I forget who the artist is, but I'll try and remember to have that information for next week. It might even be Abraham Hunter. I know he does a lot of wildlife artwork, and I know Artisy, I think, has charted quite a few of his. So this is where that one is going to be starting from. So this one I also decided to try stitching on the diagonal. So I only have a little start on that too. I don't know if I stitched on it last year or not. So looking forward to putting some stitches in that. And this is just Zweigert 18 count linen that I actually dyed just with a pearl gray, because I just wanted it to be a little bit darker so the white fabric wouldn't be peeking through on some of the stitches. And then for something different, my next weekly whip is going to be Blackwork Rainbow, which will look like this when it's done. So it might be nice to have a little change and do a little bit of black work for a week. And this is where this one is at. So I've got all of the borders, outlines of the blocks, so that's nice. I just need to go from block to block and actually stitch it. So yeah, so that's fun. And then my final weekly whip will be Christmas on the Farm by Victoria Sampler. And this is where that one is starting from. So I just have the cabin, start of the cabin at the top. Got a bunny, a squirrel. Yeah. So those will be my weekly whips. And then the last thing is my new start for May. So I spun the wheel and picked 3 more projects that we can choose from that I'll start later this month. I'm doing my new starts on the 24th because it's 2024. And the wheel picked Random Thoughts again. So if you're a Random Thoughts fan, you want to see this one started, it has another chance. So just leave a comment down below if you'd like to see me start Random Thoughts. The other one it picked was my one and only Bothy Threads kit, featuring the artwork of Hannah Dale or Rendale Designs. This is called Christmas Donkey. And it comes with that speckled Ada. Oh, I see there's some iridescent threads. I wonder. Not sure where those come into play, but so that's adorable. And then the third one it picked is Glendon Place, Flowers of the Holy Night. This is so pretty. My friend Dina has stitched this. It's stitched on a 32 count antique white linen. And I purchased this again from our D-Stash site, and it came with all of the silks, bobbinated, and all of the, I didn't realize there were so many beads in it too. So it's just gorgeous. I'm excited to stitch it, but I won't lie, I'm a little bit intimidated. But yeah, Dina's was beautiful. So that is our other choice for new starts this month. So, Flowers of the Holy Night, Christmas Donkey, or Random Thoughts. So yeah, so if you want to play along and help me pick a new start for this month, then just leave a comment down below which of those 3 you think I should start, or that you'd like to see me start, you'd like to see me work on. Oh, just a minute. Here, buddy, do you want up there? There's a chair beside me that Ollie likes to sit on when I'm here, and I had stuff on it there. Is that better now? You sit down though. Can you do that for me? No. Okay. Sniffing stuff. Oh, there he goes. Curling back up. Okay, attaboy. So yeah, thank you so much for checking in with me today, for stopping by and letting me share my stitching with you. As I say, if there's something you want to see me start later this month, feel free to chime in down below. If you have any questions about anything, I know I sometimes forget to mention stuff or leave stuff out. So if I've neglected to mention something that you're curious about, again, feel free to ask a question down below. But I will hopefully see you in a month. So take care, everybody. Bye. Oh, I'm just popping back once more because I meant to mention I don't have a lot of Ollie / Piper footage this month, but I do have a little bit. And one is a super cute video of Ollie playing with his new cousin. My sister got a new Weimaraner puppy. It's her third Weimaraner. And she brought him over to meet Ollie, and they had a little play in our backyard, and we were able to catch a little bit of it on video. So I'm going to throw that in at the end if you're curious and you want to see that. So again, thanks for watching, everybody. Bye.